And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another week of the WTL World Team League 2024 Summer Code S Round 11, day number 2. I'm, of course, VIP, and with me, I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the final round of World Team League. World Team League, the round robin stage, has been running for a couple of months now, but we're here in round 11. The final round of the round robin group stage to determine who makes it into the playoffs and who does not, who gets cut, who gets relegated, and who makes it through. We have our lineups here. Welcome to the PvP edition of WTL. Oh no, Papi, oh no. We have a purely PvPs getting ready here in this initial lineup. It's going to be starting off with Twisted Fairy versus Mystery All Gaming, and we have Classic versus Lancer, Nice versus Lemon, and Stats versus Strange. Non-stop PvP action. We're jumping into our first series. In the bottom right hand corner, we have Classic for Twisted Fairy, and in the top left, we have Lancer for Mystery All Gamers. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. The Gamba, baby. Predictions are open. Place your bets for who you think will take the series, how you think the series will unfold. Will it be a 2-0 in either direction or a tied 1-1 score? Best of luck, up to you to decide. Now, it looks like this initial best of 2 was played via replays, as we do not have any cams available for either player, and we jumped right into the game. So it looks like the players had to play out their matches ahead of time, then submit them. Regardless, we're going to be bearing witness to their initial best of 2 for the first time here, and we're going to be jumping right on in. We did cast Classic earlier today. We casted a Classic versus Trap in the KSL. This is our second broadcast of the day, by the way, as we were live 6 hours ago with the Korean StarCraft League. And now we're back. I did have a nap. I did sleep for like 3 hours. I had a 3-hour nap, and now we're back. We're jumping right into some more StarCraft action here tonight. Again, we also have day 3 of WTL tomorrow, and we also have Sparkling Tuna Cup tomorrow as well. So plenty of content on the horizon, plenty more StarCraft to come this weekend, as always. As for now, we are going to be calming things down. Again, going to be a 2-gate opener from Classic, 2-gate opener for Lancer as well. Just 2 gates all around. From here, we can settle into our initial units of choice. We can try to go for any kind of crazy proxy. For now, Pylon's going to be thrown down in the main base and no proxy in sight. It is going to be standard openers for the time being. No at least early proxy or aggression. Not too early. Really, we're just waiting for the Cybercores to finish up, and we're waiting for our initial units of choice. Whether it's double Adept, double Stalker, or Stalker Sentry, or even Sentry into Expand. There are different ways to open up here in PvP. Each one, one more aggressive than the other, one more defensive, one more greedy, one more economic. And we have our answer. It's going to be double Stalker out of Classic and double Stalker out of Lancer. So far, both players mirroring each other. So much more assertive starts here from our players. No one is opening up Sentry yet. I'm curious if we're going to double down and go for a 3rd and 4th Stalker as well and just commit to the Stalker aggression, or if we go into Sentries as a follow-up. We shall see. The initial 2 units will be scattered. You can see both Classic and Lancer are active with their probes. They're ideally looking to hopefully catch out what the initial units are. It's going to be spotted by the probes and by the pylons. And we have confirmation. Classic gets eyes. Behind this, Stargate follows. Once again, both players still mirroring each other. They're still keeping pace. Classic is coming in as a favored player, but Lancer has been one to take it to Classic and Hero and all the other Korean Protosses time and time again. It's been really amazing to see the growth of Lancer over the past year of play. Is quite comparable here to some of his other big competitors in WTL. He's the ace player of his team, and he's always one that we can rely on to, put a point on the board to fight back and make his team proud, I should say. As for now, the Stalkers do not move out across the map. We did confirm the initial double Stalker opener all around, and we're staying back at home, being more defensive, expanding, and we are embracing that Stargate. Both players opening up Oracle. Now, what's really interesting about this setup here is that neither Classic or Lancer knows about the Stargate opener. They're both happy to be doing the same thing, but because they're not aware, that's why there's no Phoenixes, and hopefully we don't cut too many corners. Hopefully we're playing it safe here, because if we're not ready for this, these Oracles can get a lot of damage done. Okay, thankfully Lancer does pull away. He pulls back to his to his main base Mineral Line. Likewise, we have some Stalkers at the 3rd base as well. And we should be able to deflect this initial Oracle. Now we have 3 Stalkers in position. Oracle is zoned away. Meanwhile, the Oracle of Lancer should also be moving out across the map. Second Oracle's in production, or second Oracle's already moving out, joining up with the first. Double Oracles do one-shot probes, so Classic has that potential. Has a lot of aggressive potential here with these initial units. At the same time, a Lancer will, not quite find a probe, going for the stasis instead, but is going to be denied. Nice cleanup there out of Classic. Classic following this up with a Phoenix, interesting. We'll be able to shut down the Oracles of Lancer. And we can see Lancer, instead of going for the Phoenix, going for Blink. A slightly faster Blink, I should say. Classic not too far behind. I would have to say shading in towards that natural way, so we're getting probe kills. Yeah, 2 do one-shot probes. And we do manage to catch 3, 4, 5 worker kills here at the natural. Not bad. 5 workers for 2 adepts. That's a good trade. Is a good trade. Meanwhile, Lancer, I believe he only made the 1 Oracle. No, never mind. Okay, he's got 2 Oracles, 1 for each base, but alas, does not find any damage. Not yet. And the scary thing here for Lancer is that Phoenix. As the Phoenix will shut down these Oracles. As he's going to be falling back. We get the Revelation. Phoenix on the hunt. Will attempt to intercept, but should not get the kill. Yeah, does make it home in time. Does make it back home. Lancer hunting for the Phoenix as well. You can see Lancer trying to bait out the Phoenix. It's like, oh no, my Oracle, it's out in the open, papi. Ah. Likewise, the Stalker's getting in position so far. Classic still hunting. Doesn't quite find it. Meanwhile, the Stalkers get dragged towards the right-hand side. The Oracles, they look for an opportunity on the left. Also moving out, both players are expanding, both players are taking their third bases. Forge on the way. We are keeping pace. No major deviations yet. And yeah, we're both kind of headed in the same direction. Let's go. I'm uncertain if Lancer got his own Robo. That might be something to take note of here. When it comes to his own detection, as we do end up sniping finally one of those Oracles, but we lose one as well. Yeah, we trade out. We get an Oracle, but we do bleed out some of these Stalkers. Now Classic down to 1. That means he no longer has that one-shot potential. That one Oracle was that much less threatening as it's on its own. It's still being active. Oh, the stasis! Oh, does catch 2 of those Stalkers. Just the 2, though. Gonna be able to take a bit of trade. It takes out a Stalker. Blinks so solely. We can see Classic just go for the dive. Yeah, the aggressive Blink on top of the main army. Does a push Lancer back. Classic holding his own. Getting a 4th. No major losses yet. Just some small skirmishes here and there. Bleeding out a Stalker or 2. Players still being very active. We can see Lancer taking up towards charge. Instead, Classic going for the Dark Shrine. Now, I was about to say that we still don't have a Robo for Lancer, but Robo is just down the way, thankfully, just in time for those DTs. So he will have detection eventually. Now going to try and trade here with Classic so far. Probe trying to bait out that stasis. Ooh, will get baited out. Very nicely done. Classic does punish, takes down the Oracle. Has the high ground as well. Lancer is going to have to back the hell off. The Stalkers are so bad at this, so bruised. One Stalker goes down, the others are deep in the red. Yeah, Lancer punished for sticking around a little bit too long. And even though we have the Robo, even though we have detection on the horizon here for Lancer, I am concerned about the DTs. I am quite concerned. These Dark Templar have a lot of potential. As the game goes on longer, it's that much more difficult to keep up with the chaos of everything happening at once. You go for DTs for all the mineral lines, and we'll see if Lancer can keep up. Lancer getting cannons. Okay. Never mind. Cannons are on the way. I'm assuming they're in the mineral lines for each base. I'm assuming though. DTs are warping in. Looks like the cannons should finish up in time. Classic is moving out on the map. Likewise, Lancer establishing his own fourth, a little bit later than Classic, just a bit. Oracle does threaten the main. Confirms the cannon. DTs are waddling in, but yeah, we have a cannon for each base. And the DTs are being shut down. So nice cleanup. Very nicely done here by Lancer. Shuts down all the DTs. And Classic not able to really make use of that tech. Going for the Archon instead will help. Archon is on the way. And I don't really think Lancer can actually push into this. I mean, sure, Lancer, he has a bit of a more mobile and flexible army. But the scary thing here is that Classic is kind of refining himself. He's getting to Archon production, Immortals as well. It isn't just a gateway army, not anymore. In that respect, Lancer is slightly behind. So moving out, knocking down those rocks. Archon's now on the way. They're being warped in from the side of Lancer. At the same time, he's got the War Prism set up to go into the natural. Gonna attempt to pull Classic apart. See if he can. Stage Trap is gonna go up. Ooh, massive connection. The entire mineral line does get caught out. Classic about to max. Prism slipping into the main, but we have DTs to defend. Cannons and shield batteries as well. Yeah, Classic is fine. He's perfectly safe and sound. We'll defend his main. We can see Classic going for his own drop as well. Dropping with the Immortal to focus down the cannon. Okay, I see you. Cannon goes down. DTs, they can wreak havoc. Very nicely done here by Classic. At the same time, moving out, trying to catch out the main army. Probes are falling. And we will deny the fifth. Base going to be denied. 7 probes go down. Beautiful move there out of Classic. And he is pushing forward. They're getting on top of the main army. The Immortals are lagging a little bit behind. And Lancer will take a bit of a better trade here on top of the ramp on the right-hand side. You can see he's trying to get on top of those Immortals at the same time as Zealots are keeping the rest of the army busy on the left. And we're diving on top of the Immortals. Is it going to be enough? It's close, but it looks like it is not. Classic still has 3 Immortals left over. One of them barely standing, but it's going to be enough. As I say that, he's going to bleed out a couple of them here in the retreat. Ooh, we do focus on one. We get a second as well. And Lancer holds. Lancer does hold, just barely. Again, Classic did have a much larger army, but the execution of the move out or of the attack was a little bit lackluster. For a lot of it, some of the Immortals were just not attacking. They were a little bit too far back. The Zealots were dragged over towards the left-hand side, and they were being kept busy by Archons. So Lancer had the best fight he could hope for. And does hold. The problem is Classic still has a better economy. Classic is still up in bases, up in workers. Classic can rebuild that much faster. And Classic is still taking. That is a Robo and a Bay on the way. We're getting ready for Disruptors. The Disruptors, papi. Let's go. So Classic is taking up even further. Meanwhile, Lancer going to be stuck with a gateway composition. And not impossible to overcome Disruptors, but it is going to be difficult. So Classic is sharking around. You can see he's looking for the 5th base. There is none. I'm sure he's content knowing that. Is no 5th Nexus. Prison's being rebuilt, making 2 Disruptors at a time. And Lancer is up against the wall here. Classic doesn't have to, like, Classic is maxed out, but the Disruptors are still on the way. Doesn't have to commit. This time the Immortals are more so leading the charge. So I'm going to distract him. Meanwhile, Classic does catch out Lancer. Yeah, fighting out of range of the shield batteries. Really awkward fight. Classic has the concave. And he is pushing in. He's breaking through. He takes down the Archons, takes down the Stalkers, and Lancer's army just melts. The worst position to fight. Lancer losing everything. And Classic is snowballing out of control. GG gets called, and Classic takes game number 1. Oh. GG. GG, well played. Classic will take a lead here in this best of 2, and Lancer was able to hold his own. True, he was able to keep up and able to hold on for quite some time there. But, oh, have to fix that up. Bam, there we go. Was able to hold his own, but unfortunately Lancer was always, it did feel like one step behind when it came to the army composition, when it came to his bases, when it came to his economy. Unfortunately he was just unable to keep up completely there with Classic, and for all those fights Classic was always able to max out, you know, be up that 20-30 army supply, and here we go, Classic in the bottom left and Lancer in the top right. Gave us so little time. Classic for Twisted Fairy and Lance for Mystery All Gamers. Here we go. I would have loved to have seen, after the initial hold from Lancer, when he was able to defend in between his natural and his third, I would have loved to have seen, from that moment, maybe just an all-in. Just like double down, just warp in as many gateway units as possible and just send it across the map. It's still difficult, but again, a longer game from that position was even more so difficult, as Classic did just maintain a base lead and was able to take towards Disruptors. Disruptors, they weren't even a part of the final fight, didn't even need them. Did not even need them. Here we go, we're settling into game number 2. Classic going for the probe scout into the main. Once again, just trying to get a read on the pylon placements to make sure everything's on the up and up. So far, so good. Does confirm the placement of the second pylon, so there's no proxies, no crazy shenanigans early on. We're loading into Dynasty. This is an interesting map choice here for Lancer. Dynasty, of course, is one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool. It's we don't see it too often, except in WTL, of course. Does feature that pocket gold base. Neither player going to embrace it yet. We can see Classic going for a faster expansion. Lancer opening up Stargate first. Both players taking up into Stargate. And Lancer should soon expand. He's got the money for it, and there it is. Oh, Nexus is on the way. So interesting, both players opening up with their Gates Cybercore into Stargate. Both players embracing kind of the Max Packs way of things. And have we found ourselves in Phoenix Wars? Uh-oh. No. I believe both players have scouted each other. I believe both players are fully aware of the Stargates, and ooh, Lancer may not have caught wind of this. This is a risky move out of Lancer. Now, because Classic is aware of the Stargate, he's opening up Phoenix. Lancer should be doing the same. Lancer going for the Oracle. It's so risky, just because if the Oracle gets caught, I mean, that's game. I mean, you lose it then and there. Phoenix is revealed. At this point, Lancer has to commit, so does shade into the main. Oh, is gonna lose a couple of probes though. 3 workers go down. It's a bit of a rough loss for Classic. Meanwhile, Oracle's on the way. Classic did lose a good amount of workers, and Lancer might be able to catch Classic off guard. It's risky, but he could do it. And Phoenixes are over here towards the left-hand side. They're not ready in the main. Lancer has potential. Still keeping it hidden in the back line. Lancer going for additional gateways. He should be working towards Blink. Oh, and Classic is on the hunt. Fanning out those Phoenixes, looking for the Oracle. Zep does get into the natural, gets a probe. does get eyes on the Oracle. Classic is aware. He knows it's back at home. And Classic, he needs to realize that there's not going to be a Sky Toss army. It's going to be Ground Toss. And yeah, Robo's on the way. Should be working towards Immortals. Might even go double Robo. We'll see. Oh, as the Oracle is moving out towards the main base. And Classic is out of position. Instead, he's going to be hitting the natural. Does get some probe kills. Probe's going to be going down. At the same time, Lancer does hit the main. Shield Battery's in position going for the stasis. Do we react in time? Up! We do. Whew. We do react in time. We pull away. Still going to get one probe kill. And the Phoenixes are racing back home. Meanwhile, Lancer, does he recall? He does not. He's going for the probes instead. He's only gotten one so far. There's the recall just in time. Do make it back. Do have Lancer embracing Blink. And again, Classic is going for Immortals. Forge is on the way for +1. Additional gateways. Phoenixes have map control. And we'll see if Classic can find some more worker damage or even find the Oracle. As it looks like the Oracle has been found. Classic with the intercept. He's going to shut it down. That's cashed out to Classic. Twilight Council on the way. This could be forward charge instead of Blink. Classic has that option. Just because he spent so much gas here on Immortals and on Phoenixes. Speaking of, we just go for the dive into the natural. So far not losing a single Phoenix. 4 probes go down. Blink is still not done. Ay, ay, ay. It's going to be 8 probe kills. We invested into an Oracle as well. Bold move here out of Classic, but it's going to pay off. 10 probe kills in total, and Classic can always recall. Twilight Council's done. What do we embrace? There it is. Charge. So we're skipping Blink. We're just going straight for charge. Classic even taking the 3rd base on the other side of the gold. Oh my god, so greedy. But it makes sense. He has map control. Or at least, you know, he should with all those Phoenixes. They are stuck behind the main base. Lancer's moving out. That gold is going to be vulnerable. Classic, he breaks out with those Phoenixes. And Lancer is moving out across the map. The army is spotted. And Lancer does check the gold. And he will shut it down. Takes out the pylon, forcing a cancel. Classic going to be stuck on 2 bases. We do have a big gateway explosion on the way. Ooh, as we're going to be bleeding out some of these Phoenixes. Some wasted energy there. And start busting into the main. Uh-oh. Classic not quite ready for this. Okay, going to be able to pin them down. Does defend his main. Force to expand towards the north. And catching a Stalker. That's okay. He's gonna fall back. Just settling into 3 bases. And I'm waiting for that move out. I'm waiting for that charge timing from Classic. That Prism is on the way. Once it arrives, we can move out across the map. Lancer, meanwhile, still stuck with purely Blink Stalkers. Like, Lancer has the more mobile army, so it's on him to try to, you know, dip into the main, dip into the 3rd, delay the economy, delay the expansions. Give himself some time before Classic breaks out. He finds a pylon. Classic once again out of position. Having a hard time keeping up. I say that. Classic getting ready for the surround. And Lancer gets the hell out of there. Wants none of that. Does pull away. The War Prism has arrived, and that means that Classic can now move out. believe he's got 3 Immortals. Sorry, 4 Immortals. 2 Archons. We're going to see a massive wave of Zealots as well. Is it going to be enough Phoenixes? They also add a little bit more micro ability here to the army of Classic. You can lift up Stalkers. And go for the lift. More Archons on the way. Classic, he spots the main army with the Observer. And once again, he wants to try to force a fight here out of range of the shield batteries. Yeah, he does outposition Lancer. He has the high ground. We have so many shield batteries here at the 4th base, but they're not going to come into play. And the shield batteries are a little bit too far back. Zealots get into the mineral line. Stalkers, they try to engage, but that's 4 Immortals. And the Archons and Immortals are going to go ham. And Classic, he will be able to take this fight. I mean, the Immortals are looking a little bit more exposed. Zealots trying to come in from behind. We can focus on one of the Immortals. We can get a second. And Classic is going to be cleaned up. We shut down every single Immortal. Just barely. But it does cost us 26 probes. The Zealots in the middle line, they just went to town. But now Classic's vulnerable. He's vulnerable to a counterattack. He lost all of his Immortals. Now we have Mass Blink Stalker for Lancer. And I feel like we gotta go. I feel like we have to send it, baby. It looks like Classic just needed 1 extra wave of reinforcements to protect those Immortals. That would have been enough. Would have been it. And GG gets called. Classic, he does tap out. Runs out of steam. That's all he had. And Lancer, he ties it up 1-1. Let's go. GG. I was like, yo, Lancer, he's gonna push now. It's like, Classic's like, he doesn't even need to push, man. I'm out. That was my reasoning. But here we go. We're getting ready for our next best of 2. It's going to be between Nice and Lemon. Game 1, Dynasty. We're loading back in. Loading back in. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Nice for Twisted Fairy. And in the top right, we have Lemon for Mystery All Gamers. Whew, let's go. Yeah, Lemon, he was able to pop off last week. If you were here for round 10 of WTL, then you would have embraced, you would have been able to bear witness to Lemon bringing down Maru. It was a big win for Lemon. And I might even go as far as to say that Lemon's best matchup is PvT, just because we have seen Lemon not just defeat Maru, we've seen him defeat Oliveira as well in the previous season of EPT in the regionals. Lemon clearly can go toe-to-toe with the best Terran players in the world. I mean, if he can take down players like Oliveira and Maru, there's not many other Terrans that are. I mean, most of the other Terrans are either comparable or lesser. So crazy, buddy, crazy. But what about a PvP? That's the difference here. PvPs are a lot more chaotic. They're a lot more intense. Mirror matchups in general can be very unforgiving. And we'll see how we approach this. As so far, we are going to be hiding a probe out on the left-hand side. It looks like Nice is going to be faking a proxy, as a pylon is soon to be thrown down. Yeah, there it is. We throw down the pylon towards the left-hand side, outside of the main. Nice, hoping to force Lemon to overreact. As you can see, Lemon is looking for the proxy, looking for the pylon. And Nice is going for his own follow-up scout. We have our initial units of choice. It's going to be double Stalker out of Lemon and double Adept out of Nice. Okay, Nice is going to be a little bit more assertive, a little bit more aggressive here. Opening up double Adept. With this, can move out across the map, can threaten the shade, threaten the mineral line. His goal here is to get some economic damage done. And also keep Lemon busy. Meanwhile, Nice going for a Twilight Council before expand. Going for his initial tech. Lemon going for the expand first. Okay, so Lemon's being a little bit greedier by going for the Nexus. Nice being more aggressive, going for the Twilight Council. I mean, already opening up double Adept is, I mean, oh, that's the probe gets past. Oh my god. The worker does manage to just hold its breath and sneak past those adepts. Let's go. Lemon throwing down a pylon right outside of the pocket base, so nice. But adepts, they shade in. Oh, they shade into the main base. Probes are getting one shot. We get one, we get two, we get three. Four probes gonna be falling. We should not get a fifth, but oh, we barely do. 5 probe kills for 2 adepts. A very nice trade here for nice. Meanwhile, the pylon across the map does finish. This pylon should not have finished, should not have even been thrown down. Nice had the capacity to deny it. And with that pylon, we can warp in right into the main base of Nice. It's one of the abusable positions here of Dynasty in this matchup, is being able to warp in. And there it is, 11 going to be warping into adepts. They're warping in right into the main. It's a slow warp in, but they're on the way. And we'll see if Lemon can reciprocate. We can see Nice doing the same thing. And we do shade in. And we shade into the main base. Boys are being pulled. Probes are going down. Ooh, we're going to get 6 probe kills. We do even want 7. 7 workers go down, but Nice, he's not done. He also shades into the main base, and we're losing workers everywhere. At home and across the map. Probes are falling. We force a recall. We deny mining time. Oh my god, and we get 4 probe kills in the main base of Lemon. We're still not done. We shade down towards the natural. Oh, but at FC just keep going in. They just keep shading in. They don't stop. Oh my god, the economies are in shambles. If you're a Protoss player, if you're a probe out there in the chat, look away, papi, look away. Oh no. You don't want to be a probe in this game. And Nice is down to 19 workers, barely over 1 base saturation. He comes out worse for wear. Remember that Lemon went for the faster Nexus. Lemon does have the better economy, which means Nice had to get that much more economic damage, and even trade is not good enough. Nice rotating back around. And of course, a lot of this could have been avoided if Nice had killed that probe in the center of the map as well. The adepts, they let it walk past, you know, they wanted to be nice. I see what I did there. God, that was awful. Who am I? Iceland? Aye. It is going to be a Dark Shrine follow-up. Nice doubling down. It is going for the DTs. That's going to be a bit of a Hail Mary play. The pylon was shut down. Nice to take up another pylon. Hallucination does confirm. I'll get eyes on this. Stalkers have arrived. Nice, he's hoping to warp in DTs right into the main base of Lemon, but it's not going to happen. The pylon is going to be shut down. Oh, Nice, blinking in, saves the pylon for a moment, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. We're going to lose every single Stalker. 3 Stalkers go down, the pylon as well. We have a backup pylon on the way. Still no Dark Templar, but the Observer has arrived. We have detection. We're fine. As long as we keep the detection back at home, and yeah, it's parked outside of the natural. We are ready for the DTs. It's a bit of a Hail Mary play for Nice. He gets spotted, he gets shut down. Ooh, the force field's not as ideal. DT does slip past. Oh no, we're coming back in! And GG gets called. That was the last chance for Nice. And this, take it even further. So we are settling in, and in the bottom right hand corner we have Nice for Twisted Fairy. In the top left we have Lemon for Mystery All Gamers. Does Lemon know that there's a Banshee behind him? He's gotta be careful, man. The reason that Banshee does stand out. But we are going to be opening into side Delta, and a big feature of this map, of course, is the ramp coming into the natural, so we are poised to set up Gate Expands. There's the gateway on the low ground, and now Nice goes for the gateway on the high ground, and this is a bit of a red flag. Once Lemon realizes this, he's going to be on the defensive, and we need to prepare for the potential all-in. We need to be diligent to scout and prepare for the potential all-in. As Nice is not opening up economically. He's not set up for it. Did open up double gas. Lemon opening up with a single gas geyser, which means Lemon is going for the faster expansion. There's a second gateway from Nice, so 2-gate opener out of our blue Protoss player. Lemon will be having a much faster expansion. And can Lemon hold and defend against the aggression of Nice? There's that Nexus on the way for our red Protoss player. And Nice, yep, he's setting up the proxy. Looking at the pylon, looking at the probe in the middle of the map. We're setting up for a proxy pylon. And Nice is going for the one base all in. Okay. It's on Lemon to do his best Max Pax impression. It isn't just about going for the gate expand, it's about defending. It's about protecting your natural and surviving the all in. Let's go. Let us go. Now Lemon, he does look quite similar to Max Pax. True, true. They could be related. I think it was a couple of weeks ago where we were like, yo, is Lemon actually Max Pax? Like, have you seen them together in the same room? Have like similar facial expressions? Confirmed. But we'll see if he can survive this. It is going to be a proxy robo out of Nice. Meanwhile, Lemon going for the proxy Stargate. Should be embracing Void Rays. You can see Lemon, he's looking for the proxy. Will eventually find it. By the time he does, need to crank out those Void Rays. Lemon Acid was too strong for Nice. Too much, might be too much, and we do find it. And we get eyes on the proxy. Lemon is aware. But knowing is half the battle. Can he survive? Immortals are on the way for Nice. Lemon setting up shield batteries. Void Rays on the way as well. I believe Lemon has a shield battery in the main, just in case. So if this was a proxy Prism, we could otherwise threaten the main. Void Ray is being chronoed as we speak. Just the one shield battery so far. I'm sure we're going to be seeing some more behind this. Immortal does pop out. There we go. Second shield battery on the way on the low ground. Void Ray has arrived. It is tempting to be assertive with this. We do trigger the shields. Yeah, shields are triggered. We can focus on the Immortal. Nice. Let's have to back off. Prismatic alignment was activated. Was spent. Bear that in mind. Second shield battery now done. Third shield battery on the way. Second pylon as well to keep everything powered. So far, so good. So far, Lemon is holding. But Nice hasn't lost anything yet. So we are getting ready to push in. Moving forward, we're going for the Stalkers. Stalkers take a lot of damage. Overcharge is popped. Overcharge is popped. Gonna be able to hold on. Some of the overcharges being wasted. We could try to focus on the Stargate. Void Rays to get eyes on that Prism. And we can focus on the Stargate as well. It is under fire. We activate the Prismatic alignment. Lemon activating all three is a little bit concerning. Ideally, you want to stagger your Prismatic alignments so you always have one available. But with all three of them being activated, now all three of them are off of cooldown or on cooldown. And none of them are available. We can focus down one of the Void Rays. One Void Ray does fall. And we're committed. We're forcing our win. Remember, overcharged on cooldown. We saved the Immortals just barely. Hot pick up here out of Nice. And with that, we're down to 2 Void Rays. Shield batteries are out of energy. Yeah, there's no energy left. We need a little bit more time for another overcharge. Cybercore goes down, no more Stalkers, and we bust in. There's the overcharge. Is it enough? Yeah, we have to pull back. We have to respect the overcharge. Once again, Prismatic alignment gets activated. Nice has to back off, but he's gaining ground. And once the overcharge runs out, Nice, he can break through. Yeah, there's nothing left to stop him. He can focus on the Stalkers. He can focus on the Void Rays. Boys are being pulled, but Lemon almost has nothing left. Oh, the juggling! We saved the Immortals! Barely do save them. There's one shield battery remaining with energy. Just the one. And yeah, nice. He has done it. He's broken the back of Lemon. GG gets called, and nice. Ties us up 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, Lemon was a little bit trigger happy when it came to his overcharge, when it came to his here. Get a 2-0 scoreline, or do we go to the ace match? I was having a really hard time with this one. Fun fact for my predictions for WTL. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have stats for Twisted Fairy. In the top left, we have Strange for Mystery All Gamers. Let's go. Once again, we're loading inside Delta. We do have stats going for the low ground gate expand, and we might see a very similar scenario to the previous game, because Strange is going for the pylon on the high ground. What does that mean? That means most likely a 2-gate opener out of Strange. That means a 1-base all-in is on the table. So Strange may opt to commit here into his 1-base all-in. Likewise, stats are back at home. Still unaware, going for his probe scout, will confirm. So yeah, we might just see a repeat. Oh boy. Stat setting out his probe, checking the ramp, will confirm the gateway positioning. But Strange has not thrown down a second gateway. Okay, interesting. Pylon has been confirmed. So Strange is also going for a gateway to Cybercore. Okay. So it looks like it's not going to be a 1-base all-in. Strange is going for the same build, but a different placement. So it looks like he was maybe hoping for an overreaction. Maybe hoping to catch his opponent off guard. But Stats is now aware. Meanwhile, Pylon across map does finish, which means we can go for the Cybercore. Oh, the probe taking a lot of hits. Oh my god. Strange, calm down. Zealot does arrive. We're going for the Pylon. Stats' expansion is going to be delayed. And Strange instead can take the faster base. Do we go for the Cybercore? We do! Cybercore has been thrown down. Big delay here for Stats. And both players should be working towards their Stargates. I don't think I've actually seen Strange engage in Phoenix Wars. I don't think I've seen that before, so I don't know if he likes it. Like, I don't know if he enjoys that sort of thing. So I'm curious if he's willing to embrace that sort of playstyle. As both players should be expanding. We go Nexus on the way for Strange, slightly faster, but Stats not too far behind. There we go, Nexus at pretty similar timings here between Stats and Strange. Stats moving out, going to be threatening the low ground. We have sentries, we should be fine. We can of course force field the ramp and defend, and neither player opens Stargate, both of them embracing a Twilight Council. I appreciate it, so no Phoenix Wars. It's going to be Blink on the way. Sentry taking a lot of damage, taking a lot of hits. There's a force field. Sentry barely does survive. Shield battery is ready. Battery is done. And with that, we're calming things down. We're easing our way into a longer back and forth. Again, no one went for any kind of crazy all-in. Both players able to expand. And both players headed in a similar direction. I say similar just because Strange did opt to go for a faster forge, so he's going to have faster upgrades. We'll have a window where you can make use of +1. Stats won't have that available anytime soon. Moving out with hallucination, Stats will, with this scout, confirm the forge. As he heads into the main, he gets eyes on the Forge upgrading. So Strange will have those upgrades. Meanwhile, Stats will have the base, as he's already taking his third. That's the bit of a give and take we're having here. Stats is going to be the defender. Strange, the aggressor. Strange even throws down the Robo. We can use that to reinforce with the Warp Prism, get into Immortal production. Curious as to which it's going to be. Stats being the first to move out. Hoping to try to cash any stray units. He checks, he confirms there is no third. There is no expansion. Stats needs to be very careful with this army. But his goal here is to force field the ramp. This blink is now done. Strange moves down. Stats, oh, catching a Stalker. Ooh, we do barely have Flink. We catch the Sentries instead. Sentries go down. Strange going to attempt to trade, but bleeds out. Ooh, a lot of units. And Stats, he catches him off guard. Yeah, this was not the fight to take. And Stats very quickly snowballing out of control. Takes down the Sentries, takes down additional Stalkers. Strange, he will hold onto the ramp. He will defend. But that was a very nice trade for Stats, bearing in mind that he was able to take advantage of Strange before any kind of upgrades kicked in or anything else. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Stats. As Stats, he's up a base, he's up an economy. We'll have a larger army as well. Strange is expanding, taking his own third. I'm just waiting for his time to shine and his moment to move out. As Strange is building up the Immortals. So it looks like Strange is working towards a +2 timing. Like, sure, he has +1 over Stats, but he's going to be waiting for +2. And by the time that hits, he's going to have, what, 3 Immortals? It's going to be quite a hefty army. So Strange is building up. So we got Strange going for Glaives. Is going to be that much more committed. Explosion as well. Stats going to be reinforcing with Chargelots, getting to his own Immortal production. Strange is working on his third Immortal. It's on the way. Just waiting for that eventual move out. Stats actually being more proactive here, moving out instead. His army is going to be scattered. Strange can respond. Stats pivoting around. He knows he was seen. Looking for any stray units. Gets eyes on the army composition. Does confirm the Immortals. That's going to be the 4th Immortal now joining the fray. The Observer is sniped. And, I mean, the Immortal count is looking quite healthy, quite intense here from Strange, but there are no Archons. Because of that, this mass Zealot composition from Stats, yeah, it's going to work wonders. Doesn't matter if we're down in upgrades. Doesn't matter if we're down in Immortals. The Zealots, they're going to reign supreme here. There's no answer. Is a no answer. And Stats, he's moving out again because of the better economy. That's why Stats is a massive army. I mean, it's also a cheap army. Stats trying to lure the army out, lure it out of range of the overcharge. It's going to be the ideal. Stats morphing in more Archons. It's going to be his answer to the Adepts. And we're collapsing in. Yeah, we blink on towards the right-hand side of it, trying to get on top of the Immortals. So far as Zealots, yeah, they just mince through all those Stalkers. We collapse on top of the Immortals as well. The force fields are insane. We trap them. Nice juggling here out of Strange. We have the overcharge, but it's too little too late. Stats, he's snowballing out of control. He's breaking through the third base. Just one immortal left. And he will shut this down. The Prism falls, GG gets called, and Stats will take game number 1. GG. Get very impressive moves there out of Stats. Initially catching those sentries, initially catching the stalkers as well. And more importantly, identifying the kind of army the Strange was working with. And of course, just doubling down on what it was weak against. Again, Zealous do such a great job at tanking immortal shots. These might end here and now in favor of Twisted Fairy. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have Stats for Twisted Fairy. In the bottom right, we have Strange for Mystery All Gamers. The pressure is on. Strange needs to fight back here and now for himself, for his team, for his team's chance at making it into the playoffs. They need this win to bring themselves up and to bring Platinum Heroes down, or Platinum R8 down. But now, we're settling in. We're loading into a much more standard map. We should be seeing 2 gate openers this time. We don't have the ramp coming into the natural, so a little bit less forgiving or less defendable to get into a more economic opener. We'll see though. See what we embrace. Probe is moving out to scout. And there's that second gateway for both players. So 2 gate opener from Strange, 2 gate opener from Stats. Probe Scouts will confirm that there's no proxy pylon, or that there is. Are moving out. Yeah, we can see, and the players can as well, that the pylons are in the main base. No proxy whatsoever. We're safe, at least for now. No cheesy shenanigans. No one is pulling an ice. So here we have our initial units of choice. It's going to be double Stalker from Stats. Meanwhile, Stalker Sentry at a Strange. Okay, so Strange going for a more defensive opener. Again, the Stalker Sentry has been very common, very meta over the past, or ever since the new patch. Has allowed us to be a lot more safer early on. The power of the Sentry opener is a hallucination, allows you to scout and see everything that your opponent's up to confirm their tech, whether they go into Blink Stalkers, DTs, delayed expansion, Robo, or even a Stargate, as we can see here from Stats. Is going to be a Stargate opener. Stats moving out. With his initial Stalkers, he's going to have a little bit more firepower, can threaten Strange. Strange following this up with additional sentries. And should soon move out with hallucination. There it is. It's moving out across the map and will confirm the tech of choice. Meanwhile, Stats has arrived. And Strange should be okay. He's already got the shield battery on the way. He has force fields if he needs to. Stats is threatening, but Strange is keeping up. And Hallucination will get eyes on not just Stargate, but also the Oracle that's on the way and the Twilight Council follow-up. So Strange is fully aware. Is going to be getting ready in the main. There we go. We have a safety shield battery in the main mineral line. So Strange should be safe initially. I say initially just because there is a second Oracle. Oh, never mind. It gets cancelled. Second Oracle was on the way. Not anymore. Stats rotating around. It's a natural, gets a probe. Gets a worker kill, but shouldn't get much more than that. So you can see Strange, he's nicely spread out between both his main and his natural. Will force Stats back. from here, we can just calm down. We can settle in. Again, Stats did cancel his second Oracle, working towards Blink, and so is Strange. Once again, Strange will have a faster Forge for faster upgrades. And that can be important and quite impactful when it comes to similar army compositions. But as we saw in the previous game, doesn't matter if you have +1, doesn't matter if you have a +2 lead as well. If the kind of army that you're working with is less than ideal, then it's not going to matter. As Stats is the first to take the third base once again. Actually, this is looking very similar to game 1. This is where you have Strange on 2 bases, prioritizing upgrades, and you have Stats prioritizing his economy, also working on Blink. He's Stats sharking around. Oh! Oracle does fall. Nice pick off there to Strange. He's not going to be punished. You have a shield battery, you have an overcharge. Strange does hold. And now expands. And this is a much faster third base compared to the previous game. Stats still has a lead, but not as large as game 1. That's pulling back, going for extra gateways. Robo's done for Strange. We are once again embracing Immortal production. Neither player working towards charge yet, but I spoke too soon. There it is, 4 Stats. Charge is on the way. And if it's the same kind of build, do we see Strange going for Glaive Adepts again? That's the question. What's it going to be, Glaives or Charge? See Stats going for a massive gateway explosion. He's of course much faster to get his third base up and running. He's getting fully saturated. Hallucination will confirm. Again, because of the better and faster saturation, that means that Stats will have a larger army. Yep, there it is. Glaive's on the way. It's very similar to game 1. It's very similar. I say similar just because in game 1, Stats didn't open up Stargate into Oracle, right? Like we had differing openers, but did lead to the same place. And we'll see if Strange can get some better execution here. As we mentioned before, like there is going to be a window where he has +2 over his opponent, but the window's actually not that large. Like this time, Stats, he's keeping up in those upgrades. +2 is later for Stats, yes, but only by a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, Stats takes a 4th base. Charge about to finish. Prism's on the way. Now, Stats has to be careful with his army movements because I don't think Stats has really reached the critical mass of Zealots that he needs to really engage, especially with all these sentries and all these force fields. So Stats, he's just sharking around. I don't think he wants to push in. He can't, not against this kind of army. But more Zealots are reinforcing. Rotating around. Ideally, he does want to fight Strange out on the map as well. Not with the help of those shield batteries and overcharge. Archons are on the way for Stats. Once again, Stats just for fighting his army. Archons are going to be his answer to the Adepts of Strange. And Strange is now moving out. +2 about to finish. And the armies do miss each other. Uh-oh. This could end up in a really weird game state as Stats is about to hit the 3rd base and likewise Strange about to hit the 4th. He turns around. Oh, he turns back around. He's going to try to come in from behind. Stats does confirm. Does spot the army. He pulls back. One Archon taking a lot of hits. Strange does make it back. He is supply blocked. But he will defend his 3rd. Does make it back home in time. Now, this does mean that now the upgrades are even. We mentioned before there was a small window where Strange would have +2, but that window is come and gone. Stats, he's up on bases, up on economy. Remember, we said before, like, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Stats. Stats will be the first to max out. Strange trying to catch up. We're getting a 3rd Archon. Hallucinated Colossus, let's go. Forcing back stats. Chargel's going to be engaging. We're getting some of the Stalkers. And the Immortals are that much more exposed as well. And Stats, he does target them down. One Immortal falls. The Immortals of Stats a little bit caught in the back line. They're having a hard time engaging. So not the best engager there, but regardless, we do collapse in. We have the better concave. The Adepts are breaking through. We have barely another warp. The warp in is denied. We deny the warp in. It looks like it's still quite close here. The Archons, they need to get on top of those Stalkers. Alas, Strange, he will take the fight. He will hold. Again, Stats, he fumbled the ball a little bit with that engagement. We saw that those three Immortals, they were stuck in the backline. They weren't doing anything for the majority of that fight. That was so much DPS lost for Stats. But he's still up a base. That's the thing here. The armies, they deflect each other. Stats, he recalls the Immortals, and Stats, he still is up a base. He can still rebuild that much faster. Strange is pretty all in. Like, he's very committed here, and he needed that fight to go better for him. Like, an even trade is not good enough. And now he's falling behind. Strange, he's falling behind. Stats, he's happily mining, of course. Now reinforcing, getting more Archons. Strange is working towards Disruptors. I like the move towards Disruptors, but this does feel a little bit too late. Disruptors are a good way to bounce back if you're down in supply, but we are down 60 supply. That's a lot of supply, Pat. That's a lot of soup. We're going Colossus? I mean, okay, sure. That's the way to go about it. I mean, regardless, whether it's Colossus or Disruptors, we need either one of them. But they need time. Strange needs time right now, and Stats, he's already moving out. He's moving out with that second wave. Collapses on the Nexus. Will force a cancel. Nexus goes down. Colossus, they're about to pop. God, that's so many Zealots. That's a lot of Zealots. Stats is matched. Colossus, they do pop out. And this is the answer to the Zealots. It is meant to be the answer, but no, they're exposed! No! The Colossus, they get caught out. They're just, yeah, they're going to be peeled away from the main army. They are exposed. And Stats, he's breaking through. He breaks the third base. He keeps the Colossus busy. GG gets called, and Stats will take the 2-0 and will win it all for his team for Twisted Fairy. GG. GG, well played. Stats will take it here. We had tied up 1-1 scores all around, but Stats, he was the one to bring it back for himself for his team, and I'm sure Platinum R8 are very happy. I'm sure they're very happy with this scoreline, as they were on the brink of being knocked out of the playoff bracket, but with this win from Twisted Fairy, I believe that secures Platinum R8. I believe Platinum R8, I think they're going to be secure in the top 7. We'll have to double check, of course, the scoreline and double check everything, but regardless, congratulations here to Twisted Fairy. They will take the win, and with that, we're halfway through. With that, we wrap up our first best of 7. We're going to be going on a short break, and when we return, we will have Psystorm Na'Vi versus Weibo Gaming. See you soon.